What if I told you that procrastination is not a bad habit? It's a survival instinct that has gone wrong. And one man learned this lesson so brutally that it turned him into the most feared warrior in Japanese history. Miyamoto Musashi never wanted to be disciplined. He was forced to become disciplined because in his world, hesitation didn't make life harder, it ended it. Before Musashi became a legend, before the undefeated duels, before the philosophy, he was just a reckless teenage boy with no reputation, no teacher, and no protection. And his first real lesson didn't come from training, it came from blood. Musashi was only 17 years old when he agreed to his first true duel, not a friendly match, not practice, a fight where one man walks away and the other never does. The opponent was experienced, respected, a master swordsman with students, honor, and years of combat behind him. Musashi had none of that. And then he did something unforgivable. He arrived late. Not a few minutes late, not traffic was bad late, hours late. In samurai culture, time was sacred. Being late wasn't disrespect, it was a declaration of contempt. While Musashi was absent, his opponent waited under the open sky. The sun burned, sweat soaked into his clothes, minutes turned into hours, and with every passing moment, anger replaced patience. By the time Musashi finally appeared, the duel had already begun in the other man's mind. Rage tightened his muscles, hatred clouded his focus, thoughts of humiliation and revenge consumed him. The fight itself lasted less than a minute. One strike, one collapse, one life ended. Musashi won, but victory didn't feel like triumph. That night, alone with the weight of what he had done, Musashi realized something most people never admit. He didn't win because he was better. He didn't win because he was prepared. He won because the situation was chaotic, because his opponent lost control, because luck chose him. And luck is unreliable. Luck doesn't show up when you need it. Luck disappears when the stakes are highest. Musashi understood that if he repeated this pattern, if he kept relying on delay, unpredictability, and chance, eventually luck would abandon him. And when it did, hesitation would kill him. That realization shattered something inside him. He saw procrastination for what it truly was, not comfort, not rest, not patience, fear. Fear disguised as waiting, fear disguised as preparation, fear disguised as later. In a world where delay meant death, fear had no place. That night became the foundation of Musashi's entire philosophy. He understood that procrastination wasn't about being lazy, it was about avoiding pain, avoiding responsibility, avoiding commitment. Most people delay because they think waiting protects them. Musashi learned the opposite. Waiting weakens you. Waiting gives your enemy time. Waiting allows fear to grow unchecked. From that moment on, he made a vow that would define his life. Never hesitate, never delay, never wait to feel ready. Because the enemy doesn't wait. Death doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. This wasn't motivation, this wasn't inspiration, it was survival. Musashi began to see hesitation everywhere, in training, in thinking, in decision-making. He noticed how the smallest pauses created weakness, a second of doubt, a moment of overthinking, a brief negotiation with comfort. Those tiny delays were where defeat was born. Most people think procrastination is a modern problem. Phones, distractions, too many options. Musashi lived 400 years ago, and he saw the same enemy, the human mind's desire to escape discomfort. He realized something terrifying. The mind is not designed to make you strong, it's designed to keep you safe, and safety creates stagnation. Musashi understood that if he trusted his feelings, if he waited until he felt confident, if he waited until fear disappeared, he would never act when it mattered. So he stopped listening. He didn't try to eliminate fear. He acted before fear could speak. This decision marked the end of Musashi the reckless boy and the birth of Musashi the strategist. From that day forward, every action had urgency. Every moment carried weight. Not because he was paranoid, but because he finally understood reality. You don't rise to the level of your intentions, you fall to the level of your habits. And hesitation was a habit that had to die. This is where Musashi's real journey began. Not with skill, not with strength, but with the destruction of delay. And what he built next was a system so extreme that procrastination became physically impossible.
After that first duel, Musashi faced a brutal truth. Raw instinct had saved him once, but instinct alone would not save him again. Luck fades, talent plateaus, and fear always returns. So Musashi searched for something stronger than motivation, stronger than emotion, stronger than confidence. He needed certainty. Not the kind that comes from feeling ready, but the kind that comes from action happening automatically, without permission from the mind. This is where Musashi made a discovery that separated him from every other warrior of his time. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to act. Musashi realized discipline is about removing the option not to act. And he did this through a single, brutal principle: repetition. Not 10 times, not 100 times, 1,000 times. When Musashi decided to master a movement, he did not spread practice across weeks or months. He did not fit it in when he felt like it. He performed the same action 1,000 times in a single day. From sunrise to sunset, the same cut, the same stance, the same breath, again and again and again. At first, the body resisted. Pain screamed, muscles shook. Then the mind joined the fight. This is unnecessary. You already understand it. Do it tomorrow. Musashi recognized this voice immediately. This was the real enemy. Procrastination does not begin with laziness. It begins with negotiation, and Musashi refused to negotiate. Somewhere around the 500th repetition, something changed. The mind became bored, frustrated, tired of complaining, and then it went silent. When the mind stepped aside, the body took control. The movement became smooth, effortless, precise. Musashi wasn't thinking anymore. He was moving. This was the moment he understood the secret. Procrastination can only exist when action requires a decision. So he eliminated decision-making entirely. When an enemy attacked, he didn't choose a response. His body responded before thought could interfere. This is why most people struggle. You know what to do, but every time you ask your mind for permission, and your mind is designed to protect comfort, not progress. Musashi didn't train until he felt confident. He trained until action became inevitable. This is what modern people misunderstand about habits. They think small, comfortable repetition is enough. Musashi knew comfort creates delay. So he compressed effort. Extreme repetition, short time, total focus. This intensity forced transformation. While others trained slowly for years, Musashi changed in weeks. Not because he was gifted, but because his nervous system adapted faster than fear could. He didn't just repeat physical movements, he repeated mental ones. Every time he noticed hesitation, he acted immediately. Not later, not after thinking, immediately. This created a reflex. Resistance appeared, action followed. Doubt appeared, movement followed. Over time, hesitation stopped appearing at all. This is what automatic discipline looks like. Musashi didn't wake up and decide to train. Training happened. He didn't debate whether to start. Starting was already underway.
Most people try to kill procrastination with motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Musashi killed it with inevitability. And if you're listening to this and realizing how much of your life is delayed by choice, this is the moment where things can change. If you want more of this mindset, more systems that eliminate hesitation instead of fighting it, subscribe now. Not later, now. Because delay is exactly what this philosophy is designed to destroy. Musashi applied this repetition system to everything: waking up early, eating simply, training daily, studying strategy. After 1,000 early mornings, waking before dawn required no willpower. After 1,000 training sessions, rest felt uncomfortable. After 1,000 acts of discipline, discipline became identity. He wasn't forcing himself. He had become someone who acts. And this is where Musashi discovered something even more dangerous. Rest is not the opposite of discipline. Pause is. So he eliminated pauses. When his hands were too damaged to hold a sword, he studied strategy. When his eyes were too tired to read, he practiced breathing. When his body could not sit, he walked. There was no gap, no empty space where the mind could whisper, later. Momentum replaced motivation, and momentum is unstoppable. This is the part most people fear, because it means you can no longer hide behind waiting. Musashi understood that procrastination survives in gaps, between intention and action, between planning and doing. So he closed the gap, completely. By the time others were deciding, he was already moving. This system transformed him from a reckless survivor into an unstoppable force. But Musashi knew something else. Even perfect discipline can collapse if the day begins incorrectly. So he designed something even more precise, a morning so powerful that procrastination never survived past sunrise. And that is what you'll understand in the next part.